Everyone, and welcome to the webinar this morning. I'd like to thank you all for taking time out of your day to join us this morning. We will be recording the webinar, so I can send it out to everybody afterwards so that you'll get a copy of it just in case you need any refreshers or anything. The webinar is going to take approximately 45 minutes. So once again, thank you very much for joining us, and let's begin. It's not too busy an agenda today, but what I wanted to cover is, what are ISO standards and certification for those that aren't familiar with them? Some of the challenges that businesses face in today's world, what the value of ISO certification can mean to you, and then the specific values around some of the more common ISO standards that will be applicable to this audience. So we'll be covering quality, environment, information and data, etc. And then talk around our sort of simple approach to helping businesses gain the necessary ISO certifications to meet those challenges that businesses face in today's world. So let's begin. So what are ISO standards? There are nearly 24,000 of them. And the way I think of it is it's really a formula that describes the best way of doing something. It helps you develop better quality products, improve safety, the efficiency of products, as well as services and systems. It is a globally recognized standard. There are over 160 member countries now that adopt ISO standards. So if you're dealing with international customers, it's internationally recognized, which means that you'll have that quality mark, that you'll have that standard that the businesses internationally will know how you operate and how you work. There's nearly 800 technical committees and subcommittees that actually take care of the standards development, that are continually improving the standards, looking for better ways to improve the efficiency, the safety, or the quality of different aspects, whether that be a service, a system, or an actual individual product. Now, I do quite a few track days on my motorbike, and I was doing a bit of research before the webinar around the types of ISO standards that help me keep me on track. I'll probably be traveling well above the speed limit, often twice above the speed limit on track. And I need to know that I've got quality products that I'm actually working with, that they're safe, that they're efficient. And ISO standards cover all aspects of my motorcycle and my equipment, whether that be the tires, the chassis, the wheels, crash helmet, gloves, leathers, even the emissions coming out of the back of the motorcycle, which means that I know that the products that I'm using, the technical aspects of the motorcycle are developed with quality in mind, that they're efficient, that they're safe. Obviously, going on a track is quite a dangerous thing to do, but at least I can mitigate those risks for me personally when I'm actually racing my motorcycle on track. So that's kind of one of the areas that ISO really help individuals like myself racing on tracks, or whether it's your cycling or your car or your windows. ISO standards touch almost every aspect of everyday life, helping those products become quality products, that they're efficient and that they meet quality standards. And that's what really ISO is all about. But what it's not about, shouldn't be seen as a cost. It should really be seen as an investment. It's an investment around your brand, around your company. It's an investment in your employees to keep them safe when they're actually working. It's an investment in your customers to let them know that you are a quality company, that you're a safe company to do business with, that you've got business continuity, that you look after their information and their data. But also it's an investment in your future. It's an investment on growing your business, improving your efficiencies, reducing costs, and helping you as a business into the future. And that's what really ISO standards are. It's not a cost, it's an investment in you. It's an investment in your company, your brand, your customers, and your future. So what are the challenges that businesses are facing today? Businesses now need to both adapt and to flourish. They need to understand how can they improve their reputation, but also prove it. How can they be more competitive in this incredibly competitive marketplace we work in? But more importantly, how can they stay ahead of the competition? Everyone wants to win new customers, whether it's going into new geographies or new vertical sectors or just winning more business. But it needs to be done in a controlled manner so that it's repeatable, so that you can bring in efficiencies into the processes and the way you actually work as a business. Obviously, there are lots of different compliances, whether it's GDPR, whether it's PCI DSS, and how do you meet these compliances? The ones that are important to you, though. And then providing the assurances to your stakeholders, whether that's your investors, your employees, your customers, your suppliers, the market, the bank. It's about providing those assurances to those particular stakeholders and to everyone out there in the marketplace that you are an efficient business, that you run a quality business. And how does ISO help you do it? It helps enhance your reputation, but it's not based on your past history. It's based on your current performance, because it's a continual monitoring process, because it's continually assessed annually to make sure that you're meeting the required standards of ISO. It means that your reputation is based on how you operate now, not on your previous history. You may well have case studies and reference sites and customers that do nice testimonials about you, but that's not about how you operate now. It's based on your current performance, not your past history. It does help you improve and maintain your competitive edge, become more efficient, get out the inefficiencies within your business, whether that's onboarding of a new customer, handling business continuity, handling service management. It's about bringing better processes into the business and improving your operational effectiveness. It's also about winning more business, and I'll cover the sort of stats that our customers are actually seeing based on winning more business, but also being paid more. It's obviously about meeting your legal, statutory, regulatory and contractual obligations to customers, whether that's you're providing a service and need to make sure you're meeting the necessary SLAs, or whether it's meeting governance and guidelines from customers that say you must have a information security policy, you must have a business continuity policy, you must have a quality system in place, and it helps you meet those compliance obligations. And like I said on the previous slide, it really is about providing those assurances to your stakeholders, clients, employees, and the market in general. And it's about proving that you're a business that people want to actually work with. It's enabling you to compete in a very competitive market and then give those assurances to the businesses that you work with, whether that be a customer or a supplier, that you're there and that you will have their best interests at heart. So what are the overall value? If we look at the finance, it's about both improvements above and below the line. Customers are seeing a 13% more business once they've adopted ISO standards, 7% higher billing, and also helping them reduce their costs. Profit margins were shown to be 2 to 3 times higher for businesses that actually have ISO certifications in place and ISO standards in place, which means you get an incredible return on your investment from doing this. I worked with a company after the last webinar that we did that wanted to look at service management, ISO 20000. I'll be covering that a little bit later on. Just by starting the process, and we provided them with a letter of intent saying that we're working with this organization, helping them get ISO 20000, they actually won 4 new contracts before they'd even adopted the standard, while they was actually in the process of doing it, which meant their return on investment was actually paid for before they'd even started the process in essence. But it's also about those savings, about continuous improvement. Are the way you work, the way you operate, whether it's onboarding a new customer or managing customer data or having business continuity plans, it's about continuously improving those. And I'll talk around that and how we actually help you a little bit later on. But it also helps you control the costs and also reduce those costs. And because of the efficiencies, it obviously helps reduce overheads. One of the other financial values that ISOs actually give is the onboarding of new staff and bringing in new talent into the business, which means you get people understand their roles, responsibilities within the organization, and that they're joining a quality company. Also helps you grow as a business, increase your customer base, stand out from the competitors, get that more valuable customers, as I said previously on the, billing more, winning more new customers. And also ISO is an incredibly valuable marketing tool. Whether you're looking at it from green credentials around ISO 14001 through to quality, through to information and data security, bidding for new contracts. It's a great marketing tool for organizations to help them stand out against their competition and win new customers. But it's also about getting that better management control in, improving the operational performance, getting those improvements into the business. And it just means that your time, money, resources are utilized far, far more efficiently. And obviously the internal motivation directly affected and also enhanced, because people know what their roles and responsibilities are. They know how the company operates. They know that they're a quality company. And it's all about growing the business, increasing the value, but in a controlled way, which means that you're not rushing ahead, taking on new customers and don't have the processes, procedures in place and the way of operating to meet those customer needs, which is about keeping and maintaining your existing customers as well as actually winning new customers as well. So what value can you gain from each ISO? Obviously, I'm not going to go through all 28,000 of them. What I picked is the key ones that I believe that will be applicable to organizations that are actually on this webinar this morning. The first one is really the sort of foundation. It's quality management system. It's about bringing in efficiencies into the business. It's about saving on costs, operational effectiveness, and improving your business. But what it really means is it enables you to consistently deliver products and services that meet the requirements, the service level agreements, and the expectations of your customers. But it's a continual improvement of those processes. What ISO isn't is a one-off exercise that you just go tick box, yes, I've done all that, I've now got the ISO standard. It's about maintaining that standard, looking at how the business operates, bringing in more and more efficiencies. And that really helps you improve your competitiveness, which creates a higher profit potential, as I mentioned, in the financial payback. Also, as it's an international standard, it can help you both in the UK, but obviously globally as well, with those 165 countries that actually have signed up to the ISO standards where it's recognized internationally. And obviously I've mentioned before around the stakeholders, their relationship and confidence around your business for employees, clients, suppliers, investors. But it's really, I think, about demonstrating your credentials, that you have been externally audited to a recognized global standard like ISO. And we see a lot of organizations start with ISO 9001 and then add in further ISO standards as they go along. What we've also got the ability to do is combine them into a single management standard, reducing costs and improving efficiency as well across the entire business. And one of those that fits nicely in with ISO 9001 is the environmental credentials, which is all about showing that you've got the green agenda there, that you understand what the impact to the environment is, that you can reduce your carbon footprint, that you can not waste energy, not waste materials. Also helps you reduce your tax, energy and insurance bills. Lowers your environmental liability. But it's about control. It's about making sure that you're looking after the environment, that you're saving and that you're improving the way you actually operate. And we're seeing ISO 14001 as one of the really big marketing pushes that organizations are doing around the benefits to the environment, which is seen by everybody today. We all know about global warming, about the pressures put on the environment. There's never a day goes by in the news without something around the environment actually coming up. And this is your way of showing that you're taking the environment into consideration and helping it, improving your overall sort of corporate image. And obviously it'll increase sales, enhance your business and ability to win new contracts with proven environmental credentials, which helps organizations look at you and think that's a business that I want to work with because of their environmental stance. So whether you're a manufacturing organization looking at waste and making sure that waste material is handled correctly, whether you're an IT company looking at improving your energy usage, or whether you're a legal firm, it doesn't really matter. Environmental help can actually give you major benefits and major value into your organization. Now, this is probably one of my favorite ones, which is ISO 27001 around information and data security. Now, a lot of organizations think this is purely IT, but IT only equates to around about 37% of the controls within ISO 27001. It's about protecting all of your data and your customers' data, whether that be IT-based, paper-based. It's around protecting the information, making sure you can identify it, and making sure you meet the necessary compliances. Obviously, it helps you enhance and trust with clients and stakeholders. It will improve your competitive edge to help you win those new accounts and win those new businesses. But it also helps with business continuity, because organizations know that you have a plan around how you manage information and data. But it is about protecting that. We've all seen the recent ransomware attacks. We as a business work with a lot of organizations around third-party risk management or mobile risk management, as well as penetration testing, and we're helping those organizations protect their data. But having a foundation like ISO 27001 that is internationally recognized takes it up to that next level, because it's not just purely looking at IT, it's looking at all areas of business. Where could there be a potential loss? And it's also that demonstration of duty of care. And obviously it helps around framework for legal compliances, around GDPR, around PCI DSS. It will help around all those elements for information and data security. It's a great standard to show to the market and show the value to you as an organization that you can look after people's information and data, whether it's your employees' data, your customers' data, or just data in general. But like I said, it's not just IT, it covers all aspects of the business. There are 14 different areas that ISO 27001 addresses. Health and safety is really about, obviously, health and safety. It's about becoming less of a risk. It's about improving and protecting your employees. But it also reduces the risk of prosecution, because you've got the processes in place to make sure that you're operating with health and safety at the forefront of your business. It will reduce downtime and costs of disruption due to accidents. Obviously, it helps reduce cost of insurance premiums as well, which goes towards the return on investment that I covered right at the beginning. Obviously, it can reduce absentees and employee turnover rate, but also helps attract employees because they know that you've got their health and safety at forefront of your mind. And obviously, if God forbid there is accidents within the organisation, it helps you respond quicker to any legal and compliance requirements that may come around investigations around that, because you've already got the processes in place, you've already looked at health and safety, and you've already adopted that as a way of working within the business. And again, it's that international benchmark, whether you're dealing in the UK or whether you're dealing with international clients, it's internationally recognised as a health and safety standard. But I think what the most important thing is, it's about protecting your employees. Yes, it's a great standard. Again, a lot of value around marketing that you're a health and safety company, but at the forefront, it should really be about protecting your employees and how they operate, reducing their risk, improving the efficiency of the way they work, but in a safe manner, but ultimately protecting them. Business continuity, obviously, a lot of organizations have business continuity plans, they might have disaster recovery plans, but it's more than that. It's about understanding the overall business vulnerabilities that you may face and to keep the lights on. And it's about building in that effective business continuity plan. Yes, it will help around a framework for disaster recovery, but it's really not about major disasters. It's dealing with everything from that minor incident, whether that be loss of a laptop, server breaks, or whatever it might be, through to major disasters. And that could be, how do you recover from a ransomware attack? What do you actually need to do? What are the processes around that? But it's really about safeguarding your staff as well as your reputation in the marketplace. And again, it's given that your stakeholders, customers, suppliers, partners, investors, the absolute confidence that you can continue in the event of a disaster. And again, as I've mentioned many times, ISO is an international standard, so it's opening up new business into a global market if that's the area that you want to move into. Now, ISO 20000 is really around how you efficiently deliver services into your customers. Can you measure how efficient you are? Can you meet their SLAs, their contractual obligations? Is the service you provide reliable? And also, can you reduce the risks associated with supplying that? And it's about demonstrating that you have a reliable and high quality service. So if you're a service provider providing a service to an organization, they can look at you and go, they're an ISO 20000 company. I know that they can demonstrate that they are reliable and high quality, that they can make sure that they can measure and make sure that the SLAs that I have in place with them can be met. And it's really about making sure those service levels, processes and practices can be improved, an ongoing improvement, but also to strengthen how you actually manage those and how you control them. And IT governance, organizations need to meet high standards of IT governance to assure the marketplace, their customers, stakeholders, etc. But really what it's about being able to measure how you currently operate, develop reliable services and reduce the risk to your customers, while at the same time improving the quality of the service, cutting costs, going into new markets, winning, especially public sector around ISO 20000 is often now becoming one of the standards that they're looking for their suppliers to meet, and assuring the market and the clients that you have that the service levels will be fulfilled, that whatever service you're providing to them can be met and delivered and fulfilled. But like I said, I think previously, it's not a let's get ISO certified, forget about it. It's about continual improvement within your business. It's about always looking at ways to improve the efficiency, the way you operate, the quality, the service levels, etc. within your organization. It's about the safety of products and services and systems. It means that you work to a methodology, an approach that is aligned with your whole company's way of working. We're not here to come in and tell you how to run your business. What we're here to do is help you improve your efficiencies and meet your objectives and strategies. But it's also, again, that proactive approach. The regulators are looking for good corporate governance within organizations. Your suppliers are looking for that same good corporate governance and corporate information, making sure it's there in good time, good order, and that you as a business are improving as you go along. Part of our onboarding, which I'll cover a little bit later on, is around how we help your internal auditors and upskill them into making sure that the standards are kept up to date, that when your processes change and improvements are made, that systems are all kept up to date. So when you come back for your next renewal and you're getting your annual audit, that the way you operate is the way it is documented. And that's a great way of doing it. And it means that you've got that proof that you are operating in an efficient and quality and safe way in the marketplace. So how do we work with you? It's really simple. It's a very straightforward process. We operate a fixed fee, and that is regardless of how complex your business is or how long it takes for you to adopt that standard. And each standard can take a different amount of time, depending on how you actually implement it into the business and go through the auditing process to make sure you meet that required standard. For instance, ISO 9001 can take 2 to 3 months to implement. ISO 27001 can take a lot longer than that, because there are certain aspects of ISO 27001 around how you handle encryption, how you handle data, etc., might need to be adopted and brought into and then evidenced around that. So it doesn't matter how long it takes, how many meetings we have to go to, how much work our consultancies do, it will be a fixed fee based on a few key areas for you as a business. And that is typically numbers of employees, numbers of sites, and that's kind of about it. We try and make it very, very simple, which means that you can budget for this, knowing what it's going to cost exactly. Not that it's going to be we think it's going to be a 12-month project, we better hire somebody to come in and help us get ISO 27001, for instance, and that sort of moving feast, or that Oliver Twist approach of, please sir, can I have some more? I haven't quite quoted you enough to do the work to get you that standard, as a fixed fee. So regardless of how long it takes, how complex it is, what type of organization, you will never be charged a single penny more. We're very flexible. We fit around your business. We're not here to come and tell you how to run your business. You're the experts at running your business. We're here to make sure that you adopt the standard. and that your business fits around it. And that what we want to do is help you improve the processes that you currently have and make sure they fit the framework. We give you a dedicated assessor that will stay with you throughout the entire process. Now, these assessors of ours that come in and help you get the ISO standards and develop the management systems to get the independent certification are trained at the same level as the person that comes in and assesses your business to issue you the certificate. And what we do is we simply look to build that framework and improve the systems that you've currently got. And basically, we provide the full implementation. What we don't do is send you a link to a Q&A session or frequently asked questions where you do it yourself. What we don't do is come in and just tell you, right, you've got to do these processes and this is how you work, and you then have to go away and write them all up. We provide the full implementation. I'll cover that. And it's really about making sure that your journey is as easy as possible to get ISO certification, whether that be for quality, information and data security, health and safety, environmental, business continuity, medical devices. There are a whole host of other ISO services provided, not just ones that I've covered in a little bit more detail. And our process, again, is very simple. We start off with a gap analysis where we'll look at the current processes you've got in place. Now, we work with hundreds, well, thousands of organizations that some of them they have a lot of processes already written down. They might have their own quality management system. They might have their own information security policies written down. And we've also worked with organizations that is literally written down on the back of a fag packet, where they don't have any of the processes done. What we do is we come in and we look at the current processes you've got, and we do a gap analysis of where they meet the required standard that you're going for. We'll then go away and develop the manuals and work with it. We then come back and present them to you, because things may have changed between when we did the gap analysis and when we developed the manuals to when we come back to present them to you. And we want to make sure that any of the processes have changed, then we can alter them and adopt. And then what we do is we work with you to help you adopt the standard. And then we arrange for the independent certification. And that can be through an independent organisation like QAS, or if you require UCAS certification, which a lot of government organisations mandate that you must be UCAS certified. We can work with other UCAS certification bodies such as URS, BSI, AAC. There are lots of different ones. Any work that we do through our consultancy will meet the requirements of independent or UCAS. It's the same. We do the same standard of work. We do the same delivered service to you, helping you get that certification and get it issued. But more importantly, we then work with you to, as I said earlier, to instruct an internal auditor to keep the systems up to date. If you don't have resources to that, we can obviously provide that as an additional cost. And that is the only additional cost we do if you require our auditing services to come in, or you might not have enough sufficient staff to do it. But most of the time, I'd say 99% of the time, we will just work with your existing staff to train them on how to keep the ISO standards in place and up to date. The main thing that we provide with our services, we do all the heavy lifting. What we want you to do is focus what you do best, and that is running your business. We'll give you any necessary advice and guidance throughout the entire implementation and certification process. Obviously, I've spoken around doing the assessment of your existing management systems, or if you don't have them in place, that doesn't matter. We can help create them from scratch. Around the gap analysis, we'll build that system for you, the complete management system. It's us that write up all the procedures and processes. Like I said earlier, we're not going to point you at frequently asked questions, go, this is how you write a process for onboarding of suppliers. We will write that process for you. And we will produce and supply the manuals, whether that's a single manual for something like 9001, or if you wanted to do integrated, where you have 9001 for quality, environmental and health and safety as a combined one, we'll build you a combined integrated management system. Well, like I said, we'll train the internal auditors to help them keep the system up to date, then register it. And it's really about making sure that you can focus on what you do best, which is running your business, and let us take care of helping you meet and require that ISO standard. This is the last slide. So, well, I think there's one more after this. I suppose in summary, ISOs deliver value to any business regardless of size. You know, we have worked with organisations from 1 and 2 man band organisations up to, we've just helped an organisation with 7,500 staff get ISO 27001 at a fixed price in a fixed time scale. But what you need to do is make sure you shout about it from the rooftops. It's put it on your website. Make sure that you are getting the maximum value out of it. You know, you have or your stakeholders have high expectations of you. Ask them to make sure that they meet the requirements as well. Ask them to return the favour. Ask them to become ISO certified. And it's for any company. Doesn't matter what industry, what size, what vertical you operate, what market, the type of business you are. ISO is suitable for every organisation. It's not just for manufacturing companies or engineering companies, it's for all businesses. But the most important thing is, if things don't work properly, it often means that just standards are absent. It means you don't have those processes in place, those standards that have been developed over many, many years to help organisations improve the quality, efficiency and safety of the products or services that they supply. We've obviously got a variety, well, 3 different sort of next steps. If you require further information, we can provide references, case studies. We've got lots of documentations. We've got white papers that we can send you on previous implementations, the value of customers, different videos, etc., that will show the value of ISO certification for organizations. If you want to, we can arrange a benefits review where, if you're interested in a particular standard, whether that be 27001 for information data security or quality, it doesn't matter. We can do a benefits review where we can come in, work with you and show you what the benefits to you as an organisation will be. And then, as I said, it's not a cost, it's an investment. So we can provide you a fixed price proposal, which will cover obviously the costing or the investment. And that is, as I said previously, regardless of how complex or how long it takes to deliver the ISO standard into your organisation, which means that the investment that you make, you can know that it will pay back from the fantastic return on investment, the increase in revenue, the increase in shareholders, in cut sales, profit, the reduction in inefficiencies in the business, making above and below the line savings and growth for you as an organisation. The way we also do the investment is we can split the investment over different milestones. So you could do a third if you sign an agreement with us, a third after we've done the gap analysis, and a third when we come back and present the manuals to you to get that independent certification through an independent company like QAS or through a UCAS certification body, you know, URS, BSI, etc., etc., which means that you can budget for it and you can spread the payments over the time period that it would take to help you get that ISO standard.